How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Rads. This is my match review to Liverpool 3, Nottingham Forest 0. We've had better away days, to be fair. Not been a regular occurrence since we've been in the Premier League. Very, very rarely have we had a successful away day. And that just kind of made this extra worse. And it was expected, really, but it's still frustrating. The manner in which we lost this game, again, just being rather poor and just going out with a whimper, really, not really having much of a fight. And I think that's the thing that is most frustrating, really. We're going to get into that. But firstly, looking at the formation and lineup, obviously there was a couple of changes. Niakate into the starting 11 and Ola Aina, of course. Those changes being for Toffolo and Chris Wood, who unexpectedly was injured for this game. So that's fantastic. Another attacker gone, and this meant that Anthony Elanga was the sole striker. No idea why it's displaying us in last season's away kit. I don't always trust the formation when it comes to SofaScore because I don't always think he's accurate, but that is not too far off. Wasn't convinced about Elanga being up top on his own. I thought maybe his pace and, you know, that goal he scored against Chelsea, he was pretty much playing as a striker. I thought that was okay, he could do something, but the issue was we just never ever even really got close to allowing him to get the ball. We were just sitting back constantly, sitting in our shell, inviting pressure, and you need to be defensively minded against Liverpool, but we weren't even getting close to them at all, which again isn't a huge shock, but when you're literally just inviting pressure on and making it that easy for still one of the best teams in the world, what do you expect? Of course you're going to get cut open. You can't resist pressure for that long. But then it's not just that, it's the goals we concede. Again, they're rather poor. They're very poor. But if we look at the games this season away, we were unlucky against Arsenal, I thought, but still quite a way off getting anything from that game. We should have really got a point out of Man United, but ultimately we didn't. We were genuinely, I thought, quite good against City in that second half, but still lost. Beat Chelsea, obviously, which was incredible. Drew with Palace, a completely different kind of game, and then you get totally torn apart here. And the reason why I mention all of them is because all those games we had a foothold in them. In one of the games we won them, or in certain periods we were the stronger team. Even against Man City in that second half, I generally thought we were the stronger team at one stage, or the most likely to score the next goal, shall we just say that. But here against Liverpool, I just nudged the mic, that's so professional. My point is we just didn't do anything at all. There's literally, I can't even dress it up or say, yeah, we had a few good moments in the game, because we just didn't. All we did is just sit back in our shell and hardly press Liverpool at all. Just give so much time and space. It's too easy. First goal was a goal from, again, Diogo Jota. That man loves scoring against Forest. He scored against us so many times in the past. He did it again today. It was a good goal, but again, rather easy. Initially a good save from Matt Turner, but then it was rebounded, and just the build up to it, again, inviting pressure on. Second goal, when was it? I know it was very soon after we'd obviously conceded, which is a common theme for Forest. Yep, 4 minutes later, concede. We are so good at that. I've lost count how many times we have conceded a goal immediately after conceding a goal. And also, actually having held Liverpool for quite a while, 31 minutes, not even playing too badly, but holding them. And then you go and concede 2 goals in quick succession. It's just so demoralising, it's self-destruct. And the third goal, Matt Turner basically playing in midfield, did a Manuel Neuer, not quite as bad as that, but still. What on earth was he doing? Just one simple ball over the top from Szoboszlai, and Mo Salah does not miss them chances. I mean, it's frustrating actually, because that was one of the very few periods where we were starting to get just a little whisker of chances. When I say chances, it wasn't even a ch, really. It was very minimal, but we were kind of getting in their half, you know. I mean, that's better than not being in their half, I suppose. I'm clutching at straws. I really am. It was actually when we brought on Yates, Awani being back, by the way. Didn't even mention that. Absolutely huge. We are nowhere near the same team without Awani. And then Toffolo, who I thought was harshly dropped from the side, really. I don't think Serge was that great, really. I mean, at the very end of the game, I don't think anyone saw, don't know how many of you saw, he did a really dangerous back pass, and it could have very easily have been another very, very ridiculous goal to concede. And Serge is great, but I personally would have kept Toffolo in. Not that he did too well in terms of rating, but it's by the by. Nico Williams and Santos actually coming off the bench this time. Was nice to see him finally make an appearance. Tavares also back fit. Kouyaté finally did not come on to just do nothing, for being brutally honest. I thought Yates was fine when he came on. Toffolo, I don't really notice him, if I'm honest. I know the game was dead by then, and again, Taiwo, we rely on him too much, and that's a bit of a concern. I mean, I know Chris Wood has done well since he's been injured, Taiwo, but now Chris Wood is injured, so that's really frustrating. And it really does quite desperately highlight the lack of depth in attack. We've got depth in pretty much every area of this team. Whether it's strength in depth is another question. I think the fullbacks, we'll see in a bit more time whether Tavares and Montiel, for example, are good enough fullbacks for us. But we at least have them as options, whereas in attack, it is very, very, very thin. I personally think if Cooper's got any logic, you have to give Vlachodimos a chance at this stage. Big Vlash, we'll call him that. We have no idea how good he truly is for Nottingham Forest, but he's a high-profile goalkeeper at the end of the day. He's played at a high level all of his career in Europe for, he's played in Germany, he's played in Greece, where is obviously his homeland, he's played a number of years for Benfica, and this is nothing against what Turner's done in his career, but he's not played at the highest level. He's played in MLS most of his career. I just feel that speaks volumes. If Flash is playing at a higher level overall than Turner throughout his career, he's clearly a better goalkeeper, surely. And there's a reason why Arsenal let him go after one season. I'm not slating Turner too much because he's made some great saves for us. He really has. I've said it on camera in the past in vlogs. But he's also been very nervy. I've never been too convinced by his kicking, even though he's not made too many mistakes with it. It never seems too convincing. And I feel the second goal against Luton, he should have done better for. The Brentford game was a nightmare for him, quite honestly. I thought he was okay against Palace, but the Brentford game, he made multiple big and really quite basic mistakes, and then today he can't be doing that. And Vlash must be licking his lips, thinking, "Yeah, I'm finally going to get a chance." And I'm more to be quite honest, I just want to see him get a chance just to see what he's all about. If he doesn't do well, which I think he should do, if he doesn't, then okay, fine. We're then back to square one. We just pick between the two. But at least can we see what Vlachodimos is all about? You know what I mean? And there's one more player to talk about, Murillo. I did an entire video about Murillo not long ago, bigging him up. Obviously talking about that solo run against Palace, which was outstanding. However, one thing I failed to mention in that video is there is the downside to doing those kind of runs. If you do those kind of runs and you do lose the ball, especially as he wasn't as advanced up the pitch as what he was for this run that he did against Liverpool. With the Palace one, he was comfortably in the opposition half, and it was difficult to get to the goal, but he did have kind of a clear run. Whereas here against Liverpool, he was on the halfway line pretty much, not at all with a clear run. If he was going to get that far up the pitch, I would have been astounded. He really would have been the next Roberto Carlos. But that's my concern with Murillo. He's an unbelievable young player. He's quality. He really is quality. But it is also because of his age. But he can't do that all the time, He's got to assess the situation better. You don't go to Anfield and try and drive around their entire team, because unless you really are world class, you just can't do that very often. Anyway, that's my assessment of the game, really. It's getting a bit perilous, really, isn't it? Looking at this, no wins in 6 games now, drawn 4 of them, lost 2 of them to very, very, very good teams. Coming up, though, we've got Aston Villa, who are looking outstanding right now, so I haven't got much hope against them. West Ham aren't looking great, but away from home, regardless, we're still not good enough away from home. So we can't really be thinking, yeah, we can go and beat West Ham. Not at all. It's going to be tough. Brighton, difficult, but they're not at all impossible to beat. They've had some hiccup moments this season, and at home maybe, and same goes to Everton and Fulham and Wolves is actually very difficult, and then Spurs, and it goes on. But yeah, some really tough games coming up, and I'm really frustrated about some of the self-entitlement that we're seeing at the moment, and it needs to stop, you know, in terms of the fan base and the players. If you have enjoyed this preview, everyone, please hit the like button, subscribe to Rads if you're new, it goes a long way. Please make sure you do that. Not sure when the next video will be before the next game against Villa, of course, which obviously I'll be covering as per usual. I will try and get a video out before then, because I do need to get one out actually. But yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Keep the faith. Come on you Reds.